In 1492, Christopher Columbus made his first voyage in a ship and discovered America. He sailed from Spain. This is where he went. These are the monarchs, the king and queen of Spain. Here is Columbus holding a globe. Because there was lots of new land available for Europeans, many European countries began to send ships over and start colonies. A colony is a little version of the mother country. So here we have English colonies. Here, these are from England or Great Britain. These are French or from France. And here, Spain, Spanish, and Spain went down into what we call Mexico and Central America. Before our nation was the United States of America, we belonged to England, also called the United Kingdom. So we were not the United States yet. We were made up of 13 colonies. We sent lots of natural resources to England. So here we have people sending animal furs and timber, which is wood to make houses, and other natural resources back over to England across the Atlantic Ocean. The colonists, the people here living in the colonies, had to also pay taxes to England. The first permanent English settlement, so the first group of English to set up a city, it was in 1607. This was the first in the colonies. The first permanent English settlement in North America was called the Jamestown Settlement. This is located in the state we now call Virginia. They cultivated tobacco and shipped it to England. So that means that they cultivated is agriculture. So agriculture is cultivating crops, and crops is what we eat or drink or smoke, because here's tobacco. It's a plant, and this is what it looks like if you put it in cigarettes now. And so the people of Jamestown grew it. They were farmers, and they sent it back to England. So here's people coming over to Jamestown and sending tobacco back. In Jamestown in 1619, they set up a representative government called the House of Burgesses. This was the first of its type in North America, so it was a representative democracy. So you have representatives in the government. When the Europeans arrived in North America before Jamestown, they had many diseases. As a result, 90% of the native people died. Because the people in Jamestown needed workers for their tobacco crops, they bought slaves. The first slaves arrived in 1619. So let me go back. So slaves were needed here. This is where they first showed up. But then slaves, people who were from Africa, enslaved people, were used all up and down the colonies. But the very first slave ship to arrive in North America was in 1619. And it's because the white colonists needed people to work the land, because most of the native people, 90%, had died because of the germs that the white people brought. And sadly, here's a boat full of people who were captured in Africa and now are coming to be slaves to work the farms in Jamestown, Virginia, to work on the tobacco farms. Life in Jamestown was difficult. There was also a division between the rich people and the poor farmers. An event called Bacon's Rebellion, named after a farmer named Bacon, occurred in 1675, so like 6 or 7 decades later. Poor farmers were angry because they wanted to take land from the native people in order to have land to farm. So they had a big argument, and they even marched, and they had, looks like, fire